And welcome to the last hour of the Crossfire. It's 6 minutes gone past 06 on a Friday morning. I'm Sheriff Quadri. It's good to be here. Last hour of the show, as usual. We have some interesting conversation coming. I know you would love to talk about so many other things, but trust me, this conversation we have for you this morning is as equally as important. Dr. Nimia Kerry is here with us, and guess what we're going to be talking about? Children and sexual violence. In Nigeria, 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 10 boys are sexually assaulted before they turn 18. It's a fact. Now, further research shows that 90% of children, that's 90% of children, are abused by people they know quite well. And about 60% are abused by family members who have unfettered access to them. Looking at real life events of adults raping children, a recent survey revealed that over 31.4% of girls said their first sexual encounter had been rape or forced sex of some kind. That's according to a Vanguard report of some weeks ago, October 12, 2020. So this morning we'll be taking a look at child sexual abuse. And we will be having this conversation alongside with you because you're watching right now on Facebook and YouTube. You're most welcome to join us. If you haven't logged onto your Facebook and YouTube yet, please go there. Join us there. You can see my guest and myself in the studio, and you can drop your comment and your thought. If you've had the experience before, if your child had the experience before, or yourself would like to know exactly what the impact of this is, on you or someone that you know pretty well, would like to know exactly. So join the conversation this morning. Dr. Nimia Kerry, founder Smile and Shine Children's Foundation. She's here with us this morning. Dr. Kerry, good morning to you.
Good morning, Sherry.
It's good to have you here.
Same here. I'm happy to be here.
All right, fantastic. I'm going to have to do this. Yeah, I think you sound lovely, but this is even better.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me this morning on the show. Now, let's start with basic definition of what we're talking about today, and it's better to start this way so we can establish the premise of this conversation. People can understand what we're talking about. What is child sexual abuse? What is it?
Okay, thank you, Sheriff. Child sexual abuse, simply put, is any act that involves coercing or forcing a child into engaging in sexual activities. So it could be contact or non-contact. It could be touch or non-touch. I mean, we have two types. So somebody comes and says, uncle showed me a bad text message, and you think it's not child sexual abuse. It is child sexual abuse. So for the touch or contact child sexual abuse, it involves fondling a child's genitals or asking the child to fondle someone else's genitals, using inserting objects or body parts into the child's vulva, vagina, mouth, and even anus, and then playing sexual games with the child. So that's contact or touch, the type of child sexual abuse called contact or touch. And then the non-touch or non-contact involves pornography, exposing the child to pornography, even things like asking a child to dance in a sexual way. Yes, listening to music, letting a child listen to music that has sexual themes.
That's sexual abuse.
Oh, yes, it is. Invading a child's privacy.
What does that mean? Invading a child's privacy?
Okay, like a child is dressing up and then you barge into her.
That's sexual
room.
abuse?
Oh, it is. It is. So I mean, the child has rights. So it's those are the definitions. So it doesn't have to be the penetration. It doesn't have to be the intercourse. Anything that is sexual. I mean, a child shouldn't be introduced to anything sexual.
Right.
So anyone that introduces the child
even a parent can be guilty of these from especially the non-contact ones, like listening to erotic music,
yes,
barging in on a child while dressing up, access to the parent's phone, and you have porn on your device, all of those things.
Exactly.
It's possible that everybody can be guilty of this.
Yes.
Most people, rather.
Yes.
Maybe not everybody.
Most people are guilty of it.
Tell us how rampant is this? How, from your findings?
It is very rampant, and it's worse here because a lot of people don't talk about it. They hide under the cover of, it's a family affair. Don't talk about it. And I call it "don't tell anyone" phenomenon. In my book, that's what I tagged it.
Okay.
So it's something that has to do with stigma. If I tell someone my child will not get married, or they'll look at us like we're indecent. So a lot of times they don't talk about it. So the statistics are not real.
Right.
I mean, we've said that 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 10 boys are abused before the age of 18.
Right.
But we don't really have the exact figures because a lot of people don't come out. A lot of cases are unreported.
Yeah.
So if you don't have cases that are reported, how do you know? For example, a patient came into a mother brought her child to my facility, and the child was raped about a month before she came in, and she was abused by her uncle.
Okay.
And she didn't want to talk about it. The child was...
Who didn't want to talk about it?
The mother.
The mother,
yes.
okay.
I mean, she kept telling us things that were vague and unrelated to the
Even when she
incident.
came to your facility?
Yes, she of
still...
course, the child was ill, and,
Yeah.
from a little, you could tell that the child wanted to say something, but the mother did not. So when we probed, of course, we took a detailed history. It was, we found out the child was abused. And guess what? We wanted to pursue the case and take it up, but she said no, that the uncle apologized, and she didn't want the stigma attached to her family. So
I was particularly going to come to that, but now that we're here, let's talk about the cultural implication of on child abuse or sexual abuse of children, child molestation, whatever you want to call it. How strong is the implication of our culture, our tradition, our beliefs? How strong are these things on curbing sexual abuse of children?
Well, because, like I said, our culture hasn't helped at all. Child sexual abuse thrives in secrecy because nobody wants to talk about it. It's seen as a taboo. Oh, if I tell someone that my child was abused, they will never get married, or they will look at us as non-religious, and so many things. So, I mean, even when you want to help, you can only do so. There's only so much you can do if the parties are not willing. So you don't do so much. But we're breaking all that. We're trying to get into the communities to let them know what it is, first of all.
Right.
Because sometimes they don't even know. Sometimes the parents don't even see it as abuse. They're given money and all that. They're poor, so they are told to not talk about it.
Right.
So when you go to the communities to talk about it, to tell them what it is, what the effects that this can have on the children. First of all, is the child that is important here, very important, because it has a lot of deleterious effect on the children.
Let's talk about
short
that.
Term and long term.
Let's talk about that. What are those effects that these things can have on children, male or female? Male or female,
yes. So I'll give you an example.
Yes, please.
It's a case scenario, like a child that was brought to I'm a doctor, right? So like my hospital, so my facility, and she was an only child. She was born after 12 years of marriage. Her parents waited for 12 years.
12 years.
Yeah. So I mean, she was born in their middle age, so she was precious to them. So it wasn't like they were not close to her. They were close to her, but the mom was just not attentive to details. There was a shop across the road where she was sent to buy things, and each time she wanted to go, she would cry and cry and cry, and the mom would say, anytime she was sent to go and buy provisions, she would cry and cry. The mom did not think that anything was wrong. And to cut the long story short, months later, she was being treated for malaria and typhoid. She was going in and out of hospital, and when it didn't improve, she came to a bigger facility, and she had full-blown AIDS. So, I mean, that's a consequence. That's an effect of child sexual abuse. Others could be infections, like we've talked about HIV/AIDS,
Right.
depression.
Right.
I mean, the mental trauma is
Right.
enormous, and you don't want to see a child go through that. Even in adulthood, sometimes they go through what is called post-traumatic stress disorder, where they relive the incident and they have flashbacks,
Right.
and it just makes them come down with bizarre symptoms, sometimes palpitations, headaches, and they can't move forward. They can't go past that event, the trauma. So it's a big issue.
What are the signs that parents, what guardians most especially, and parents can watch out for in their kids to be able to tell
The
if
telltale
something
signs.
is going on?
Yeah. So parents to be very attentive to details. You have to be close to your children. You have to know when things have changed. I mean, it's called intentional parenting. So, like a child that was extroverted, was everywhere, the life of the party comes in and becomes very introverted, becomes withdrawn. It should be
Right.
it's a flag, it's a red flag. A child that was doing well academically now starts having bad grades. You should find out what is wrong. A child avoids an adult. I mean, I don't want to be with that uncle. I don't want, or I mean, she may not tell you because she's scared, she's terrified.
Right.
But you see that her body language does not, condone a particular, or is not receptive to a particular person. You should probe. She cries, she's terrified when she sees
What
someone.
is the first step to take when you see all of these things? When you see all these signs, what are the things that a parent or a guardian should do?
First of all, as a parent, you should have developed a cordial relationship, a formidable relationship with your child. So
Right.
it's when you notice it, you call the child and you talk. Communication is key. So I mean, if you're close to your child and they are your friend, they tell you everything. They should be able to tell you that this uncle, that auntie is abusing them or try to abuse them.
Right.
But when the relationship is not there, when the communication is not there, when there's nothing to talk about, they hardly talk about it. I mean, they look at you, and because they're scared. They're scared you're going to judge them, but scared you're going to criticize them.
Sometimes their abuser even threaten them.
Yes, most times they are threatened. Most times they are coerced. Most times they're threatened. So they are scared. I mean, you're going to leave the house and they're going to face the abuser. So
Right.
it's just something that parents have to be intentional about. So parenting has to be
The
intentional.
first thing to do is to develop a relationship.
Good parent-child relation, formidable parent-child relation.
So when you now find out that this has been going on, what should the parents do?
Okay, well, it's good to take the child to the hospital,
Right,
and
right.
and then of course the police will be involved because the offender has to be punished. The offender has to be punished. But first of all, the child has to be taken care of. The child is at risk of a lot of infections, HIV/AIDS, unwanted pregnancies. I mean,
Right.
teenage pregnancies, a lot of unwanted pregnancies, a lot of, and then mental health disorders. So the child has to be taken care of. So the child is the hero here. The child is the important person here. Then afterwards, the perpetrator or the offender can be punished.
Yeah, fantastic. In case you're just joining us, welcome. It's a morning crossfire on Nigeria Info. I'm Sheriff Quadri. Dr. Nimia Kere is here, and we're talking about child sexual abuse on the show today. And you should know that 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 10 boys are sexually assaulted before they turn 18. 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 10 boys sexually assaulted before they turn 18. Now, listen to this. 90% of children are abused by people they know quite well, not by strangers. Dr. Ikeri, how should parents and guardian be? I mean, is it okay to say be circumspect of everybody around your child? Is it okay? But, because I'm trying to put it across that if we have 90% of people that these children know that are the abusers, how safe are our children? Let me put it that way. How safe are they?
It's
90%.
it's obvious that they we have to protect them. We have to do more to protect them. That's the summary of it. We don't have to take things for granted. And thankfully, we have social media that has amplified this issue. I mean,
Right.
before it was swept under the carpet, but now we see people talk about it. We see NGOs talk about it. People are advocating, and parents are talking. Children are talking. So we are now more aware. So we should do more. Yes, we should be careful who lives with us, who we bring into our houses.
What should permit and what you shouldn't permit?
Truly, because I mean, I've seen cases where first degree relatives abuse the children. An uncle, there's a girl is going through post-traumatic stress disorder right now as we speak. Her uncle, her mom's last brother, abused her incessantly. She was abused from the time she was 7 till she turned 17.
What? 10 years of abuse?
Yes, by her uncle. So it took a huge psychological toll on her. So we have to be careful who we allow. We have to be careful. We have to protect our children. We have to educate them. And this is not the time to say sex education it's too deep. No, it should be age appropriate. Parents should attend seminars. Parents should read books. I've written books on child sexual abuse, and trust me, parents tell you, Dr. Ekere, please, can I have for my children? And I'm like, I have for parents. And you see that they don't make a lot of effort to get it for themselves because they don't want to read. Well, some read, some have ordered, but a lot of them don't. They feel they can give it to their children, but they don't want to be intentional about it. You have to read. You have to know. There's so many things I've had to read to know. So you have to read to know. You have to know the telltale signs. You have to know that sometimes these people appear so innocent. I mean, the offenders,
The abusers.
Yes. I mean, you may never know, but if you read and know how they operate, how they groom children, it will help you. There are sites. Children shouldn't go to some sites. Shouldn't handle some devices because you have predators.
Yeah. Right
on the
there.
internet.
On some platforms.
Yes. So parents have to, I mean, there's so much to do in parenting. There's so much to do to protect the kids from child sexual abuse.
Fantastic. We'll take some thoughts before we go on our first break. We have some coming in on Facebook and YouTube. If you're watching live on Facebook and YouTube, Nigeria Info 99.3. I have some thoughts here that have coming already, so I'll just take a few of them. Good morning, my friends. What about some actions children bump into watching television? These are rampant, but how do we correct these in our society? I'm guessing that he's saying there are some things, even on normal TV shows, that children watch that could predispose them to things like this.
Truly. And we found out that even some cartoons have sexual themes. So parents should know what their children are watching.
Right.
You should teach them.
Even cartoons that are meant for kids.
Yes. So if you don't know, you assume they are watching cartoons. And they have predators there. So they groom them for sexual abuse. So you see a child watching cartoon and yet they are introduced into pornography.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sadly so.
Sadly. Very sad. 0700 993 993 993. We'd like to hear from you. You've been exposed to it before. If you're a parent, what you're doing in your capacity towards protecting your child or your ward. If you've been exposed, if you've been through it before, if your child has been exposed to it before, let's get to hear from you and what the child is going through or what you yourself are going through. 0700 993 993 993. Nigeria Info, good morning to you.
Morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
Adegoke from Lekki. Well, also greetings to your guest. Yeah, my elder sister runs an NGO basically for child protection and deal basically on child sexual abuse, how to protect children and educate children on how to detect sexual predators. Basically, I've been working with her too and seen a lot of experiences, whereby even parents left this porn movie in this DVD and went for work, and the children started watching, and they started practicing it on each other. Can you imagine that? So the carelessness of parents, and also one of very important thing is the work system in Nigeria makes parents wake up very early in the morning dad and mom go out at 4 a.m., 4:30 because of traffic, and then come back late, 11 p.m., and the children are asleep.
Right.
All through. They only have maybe
So
weekends.
they don't have time for the
No
kids to monitor the
time.
kids.
Yes.
Most
So
parents.
yes. So it's a huge setback. It happened to my sister too, when she was busy with too much work. That my mother was the one taking care of her children.
Adegoke, thank you so much for sharing your thought. Dr. Ikere, this is a very vital point. The time that parents spend with their kids, it's diminishing by the day. But let's go to break. We need to take this quick break. When we return, Lagos, we'll take more of your thoughts. All our lines are blinking. Lagos want to talk. Lagos want to share their experiences on this particular conversation. But we're back in a moment. Stay here. In the meantime, you can keep your tweets coming in at Nigeria Info FM on Twitter with the hashtag Nigeria Info MCF. Do stay with us.
The Morning Crossfire continues after this.
Thank you for joining us. If you are listening to us via our mobile app, thank you for joining us from wherever you are. If you don't have our mobile app yet on your phone, please do that. You can download it from Google Play Store and Apple iOS Store. Nigeria Info FM is what you need to search for on those two stores. And you can download and enjoy radio on the go from anywhere in the world. And it doesn't even eat up your data that much. And you enjoy seamless stream of Nigeria Info. And by the way, it's like a price of 3 for 1 or 1 for 3. Yeah, that way. Because you have Nigeria Info Lagos on the app, you have Nigeria Info Port Harcourt there, you have Nigeria Info Abuja there. So you can listen to Nigeria Info from anywhere which is great, which is awesome. All right. Thank you for joining us. We're back again on our conversation this morning, and we'll be taking more reaction from Lagos this morning. We'd like to hear exactly your contribution on what we're talking about, and that is child sexual abuse. The menace of child sexual abuse. It's very important that we talk about this. Sometimes these children, they grow up to carry this scar till when they grow old. Some of them, it alter this development alter their psyche completely. They misbehave. They do things abnormally. You wouldn't know until they begin to tell you their story. They myself, maybe they don't even know that this is what had caused why they are acting the way they are acting, but it's okay. We'll talk about everything this morning. Dr. Ekere is here with me this morning, and we have been talking. If you missed out on the first 30 minutes of the show, don't worry, we have the next 30 minutes with Dr. Nimi Ekere in the studio here. She is the founder, Smile and Shine Children's Foundation. Dr. Ekere, thank you again for coming in today.
Thank you, Sheriff.
I know you're very busy. We just had to drag you in here because we would love to take away from your experiences and, try and teach parents one or two things about how they can protect their children this morning. It's quite abysmal and very frightening, the figures that we have concerning child sexual abuse. It's quite frightening. You can watch us live on Facebook and YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. On Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3. On YouTube, Nigeria Info 99.3. Drop your comments there and let's get to know what's on your mind concerning this conversation. On the telephone, it's 0700 993 993 993. Hello, good morning to you. Good morning. Oh, I think we lost that call. We'll jump on another one. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Sherry.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, doctor in the house.
Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Eric.
Welcome, Eric.
Thank you. Now, the thing is, when we talk about what you're discussing there is a very vital topic you're discussing, which has also could be a problem all over the world today.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the reasons why this is rising is because parents are not taking this very serious, and they're not looking into it deeply the way they should be. I know sometimes when I see parenting is not just about giving birth to children and you just
very true. Very true.
There are extreme things you need to do to take care of your children. And sometimes it pains me when I see people joke with children and you say, she's my wife.
Exactly.
And the father and the mother is sitting somewhere and smiling. It's annoying. I grew up with something like that, and it affects me emotionally, right? There's a lady that, when I was growing up, she always this is my husband, and she plays around. And do you know that at the time I started growing feelings for her?
You started growing feelings, having feelings for this lady?
I tell you.
Okay.
So parents need to, as I am now, I'm not yet married.
Okay.
So when I get married, I can never hear anyone telling my child.
You will not allow it.
That is my wife or is my son. In fact, the way I will bounce on that person, you will never like it.
Thank you for calling us. Appreciate it. Nigeria Info, good morning to you. We lost that call. Nigeria Info, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning. This is Askia.
Good morning. Welcome.
Thank you. I just want to say something. I quite agree with what the doctor and the show said about being open and building a relationship with your child.
Right.
Because due to my experience growing up, I was saved actually because I also had my own share of experience of molestation by adults.
Okay.
And it was difficult for me to address it with my parents because one of them happened to be a very close family friend, and my parents weren't the kind of person that I could have some discussion with, because when I once asked my mom what sex was at age of 6, I got the biggest slap on my face 3 times.
The biggest slap.
And 1 year. So with all that, I have a 10-year-old son.
Okay.
So I make sure that the things I didn't enjoy, not being able to discuss such sensitive issues, and when I needed to learn about sex, and to open up.
Oh, I think we lost that call. Hello? Oh, I think we lost that call. Dr. Kerry, you heard the last caller about when she wanted to have the discussion with her parents, the kind of reaction she got. In fact, it was a beating she got, according to her, the biggest slap. But then she is she's reinventing that story in the positive way by teaching her own son what he needs to know. You're saying that parent needs to do this more.
Yes. And she's deliberate. She has realized the mistakes of her parents. A lot
Right.
of times, parents don't even, they carry it over.
Right.
They make worse mistakes. So they don't want their children around them. Maybe it might just be an unconscious act. You know, a child comes to you and you say, "What are you talking about?" Children can ask any question.
Very true.
So if you push them away, they will not ask you. They will go ask their friends, and when they learn these things from their friends, I leave you to imagine what they can become.
It can only be
And
imagined.
they come back home and pretend to you because this is who you think they are. Of course, they will give that they will put up the appearance, and you don't know your child.
And that can be very devastating.
It's devastating, the effect it has, the toll it takes on the child. There's nothing as painful as seeing that a parent has failed their child.
Oh, that's really sad. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Sheriff. How are you?
Doing okay, but I'll be better if you could use your phone. You're sounding very distant.
Okay, my name is Michael Oba. Can you hear me better?
It's better now, Michael.
Can you hear me better?
Yeah, it's better now, Michael. Go on.
Okay. I have 4 boys.
Okay.
Ages from 15 to, I think the last child is 8.
Alrighty.
What I tell them and I teach them often is that respect girls. And where there are issues of rape and all these stupid things we keep hearing and reading about every day, I bring them together and I teach them that it is never allowed for you to do anything without the consent of anybody. I don't have a daughter. I'll probably go to jail or be a murderer if I do, given the circumstances of Nigeria today. It is multifaceted. The poverty makes it difficult for you to care for your family the way you want to without going out there in the marketplace of life to fend for them. The lockdown and stupid things has even escalated the matter. And
Right.
I don't mind
Right.
think of stupid things and do stupid things. So it's a problem. All I'm encouraging people, parents, even if you don't have a girl and you have boys, teach them what it means to be decent. The society, that is the bedrock. If we fail to do that, we'll keep having these challenges we have.
Okay. Calling me.
Can I?
Yes, please.
Yes, so it's in our boys and even our girls, because girls rape as well.
Right.
So a girl that has been abused would abuse another person. Most boys were raped by girls. So it's like he said, it's multifaceted. You have to do what you can do for the boy child and the girl child.
Right.
Yes, I know that most offenders are boys, but we still have girls that are offenders. So it boils down to home training, having a communication, formidable, I call it formidable, parent-child relationship. It's
Indeed.
very key.
I would not be mentioning some names on the social media just to keep some of our contributors anonymous. This person on YouTube says, I would succumb. She go, gets him something to eat. Then he would abuse me and tell me not to tell my mom. Till now, my mom doesn't know that happened to me. That's somebody's experience. We'll talk about the trauma and the effects of growing up in a moment, Dr. Ekeri. But let's speak with Edison. Edison is here. Edison, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Sherry.
Good morning to you.
Yes. Like what was some time ago, because like what I do, I have a daughter.
Okay.
I called my wife and I told my wife.
Edison, can you turn off your radio very quickly?
Okay. I called my wife and I told my wife what we do is to monitor this child because she's fast growing.
Okay.
And she's the kind of person that people crowd. So what I do is that I will sit down. I'll be talking to her as father and a daughter. When the mother wants to talk to her, I'll always leave. So I talk to her as mother and daughter. Then some time ago, we have a teacher that always come to the house to teach her the house. Where I go to work, my wife go to her business, so she'll rush down. So at the time, when she now discovered that anytime my wife said want to call a teacher, teacher. She said, no, I don't want him.
Okay.
She was just, called her. What is the problem? She now explained that, look at what this guy is trying to do. So they like this. That if not for she was so wise and escaped it, that she doesn't want such person like that. And do you know who is this person? This same person is my own pastor's son that preach in the pulpit. That these children. You understand? So sometimes I just put it that now we are talking about the physical side of it, but spiritually, there are it's as if the devil enter into them. This one that preach the word. People will be, so sometimes I don't just like we the parents we really have a lot to do.
Yeah.
Both physical counseling and spiritual counseling.
That's right.
So they will have that fear of God.
Right.
In them. So that is my
Thank you, Edison, for calling. Appreciate it. Let me. So the anonymous contributor on YouTube later sent in some. The beginning. She said it affected. I mean, let me take it again from the top. I would succumb. She go and get him something to eat. Then he would abuse me and tell me not to tell my mom. Till now, my mom doesn't know that happened to me. It affected our relationship as mother and daughter, and I currently have PTSD. I still haven't gotten over it, and many it's like I relive the experience every day. I'm 18 now, and yes, it affected my mental, psychological, physiological, and sexual health. Dr. Ekeri, what are the impact? What is the impact? The effects of sexual abuse on growing up?
What she has said, it's traumatic. A lot of people do make light of it, but it's traumatic. It's the worst experience.
It's like it lives with the child.
All through their lifetime. It never leaves, and it's worse when they don't go happy. So a child, I've seen a adult commit abuse childhood, and she kept coming for psychiatric evaluation. She was on her medications. At some point, she felt, there was this stigma attached to it. She didn't want to talk about it. And I told her, no, you're fine. Everything is going to be fine. Just take your medications. You'll be fine. I counseled her the best way I could. And we had less than 2 years later that she was dead. She committed suicide. So it's horrific. It's bad. They can be depressed. Sometimes, if the immediate effect, they have immediate, middle, and long term. Immediate effects and long term effects.
Right.
So, like immediate effects are a child reverting back to old habits. A child that had stopped bedwetting could start bedwetting. The child is always introverted, withdrawn, doesn't want to talk to anyone because she doesn't have any dignity. She feels her self-esteem has been stripped of her. You understand? So the child is she feels unloved, uncared for, and then looking at the parents, she feels that they don't even love her because if they loved her, she wouldn't go through all that. So she doesn't know what to do. She's just confused, and a lot is going through her mind or their mind because I don't want to be gender specific. It could be a boy.
Right.
Now, long term depression. Depression could even be short term.
Right.
Depression, post-traumatic infections. Post-traumatic stress disorder is very common, and then suicide.
This is quite sad.
Unwanted pregnancies. The list goes on. It's traumatic, and that is why we shouldn't make light of it. Children are important. We should protect them. They are naive. So if an innocent, if you don't protect them, if you're not there for them,
right.
Okay,
we're going to do YouTube link to Facebook. Some I saw here that not messages up from the not pardon me for the we can take this message someone shared Thursday on Facebook. Let's see. Okay, I'm trying to just give me a moment, please, everybody. Okay. I think we should squeeze in a call while I look for that. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Kyle Demugaji. I'm calling from Surrey.
Welcome, Mr. Coyote.
Yes, sorry. Let me come from the Ablos part. I
Right.
worked on a project last year, and it had to do with public schools in Nigeria. But let me localize it.
Okay.
I went to about 200 schools, public schools in Lagos, and I think the statistics, the 1 out of 4 is totally
underreported.
Yes,
Yeah,
true.
definitely.
completely like it's
Definitely.
completely ridiculous.
Definitely.
We realized about 70 to 78% of the girls that spoke to the counselors in some of the public schools that actually had counselors had actually been abused.
70 to 80%.
To 78, no, not to 80, to 78%.
To 78%.
Yes,
That's
of
almost
those who
80.
spoke.
Okay.
That's about 80%.
Right.
Have been actually abused, and it continues actually because most times it's not. And usually there are even multiple abusers. That is the most terrible. That is the most terrible. And the state actually has, like the state for instance, actually has some helplines. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, there is the Department of Sexual Violence and Domestic.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, it's very difficult or tough for those that have been abused. So what we actually try to preach is people should look out for their people should look out for, because those that have been abused since they were kids, like Madam said, they would have become introverted. The stigma and so many things keep them in a bubble, in a scary bubble.
Right.
We had the project. Sorry, I'm taking a bit of a time. We had the project sometime in 2015, and this is what got me involved in this. It was a project for public schools within Surulere.
Okay.
And it was supposed to be the girls talking about what was affecting their studies, but it turned out that most of them came out and were talking about being abused. One, the first person fired the shots. It was so exhaustive for me as a guy who has 3 sisters. Only sisters. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
I
think
do.
Yeah, so we need to pay more attention to the cries, even when they are quiet.
Right.
Because that's when the cries are actually louder. And we are the people. That's the neighbors, because we had stories of neighbors actually being the ones saving the kids. Yes.
Right.
So, yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your thought. I really do appreciate it. Dr. Ekere, you agree totally with what he said?
Yes. Yes, and sometimes you don't even know that they are abused. For example, I heard a story about a girl that was selling oranges, and someone called her to bring her tray of oranges, that he wanted to buy everything.
Right.
And she was very elated, and she said, "So where are we having it?" And he said, "We're having what?" She said, "Sex." She thought that's
a normal.
Yes, because you've bought everything.
It's a routine.
You've bought everything. I should pay you back. I should give you sex. So that's child sexual. And the guy said, "No, I just bought them because I wanted to help you and I don't want sex." So that's what she's used to.
Yeah.
You buy her oranges and she gives you sex. So we have to go to the rural areas to tell them what sexual abuse is. We have to. Sensitization can never be enough. They have to be educated, how to set boundaries, how to say no to these sexual predators. If the guy had said yes, they would have gone to
somewhere.
Yes, an uncompleted building, and she would have been abused. Of course, she would have been abused serially in the past. But the guy, I think he educated her, counseled her, and I heard she was crying. And so, what am I trying to say? Change their mindset. Even their parents see it as normal. You finish someone bought your oranges, and the mom would know that she gave him sex and may not talk about it. So we have to go down. It cuts across every social economic status. So we should talk to the rich and talk to the poor. We should not neglect the poor because they are more vulnerable to sexual abuse.
Fantastic. Let's take this comment that I was looking for on Facebook. I think this person says, I think the statistics on the boys is much more. For instance, I'm a man and I was sexually abused when I was 4 by a lady who was about 5 years older. I have 3 boys of 9, 5, and 3, and they were all sexually abused about a year ago by a young girl that's 12. In fact, I can tell you that I can tell you for free that most men were disvirgined by older ladies when they were younger, and he says, "My opinion."
That's true.
You agree with that?
I agree. A lot of boys were abused by older women and sometimes other boys. So because like I said, a lot of this is unwritten. The statistics are not
Exactly.
exact,
They don't represent the true picture.
Yes, so we don't have the figures to back it up because a lot of times
What can we do
they're
to
not documented.
What can we do to improve documentation? Because this is the only way. I'm a strong believer in statistics and figure because
True.
it helps you plan. It helps you do a lot of things.
Projects and all that.
Exactly. So what can we do as government, as people, individual, to improve on our statistics, especially in this regard?
Thank you. We have to ensure that we remove that cloak of secrecy, the cloak of stigmatization, because if people know that they can report and they don't look down,
Nobody will judge them.
Nobody will judge. People are critical of them. People judge them. So and then because a lot of times the perpetrators go unpunished, so they're like, why should I even go all out? And then I'm stigmatized, and then the perpetrator is walking the streets like a hero.
Right.
So I'll rather handle it myself. So if we should take care of these victims or survivors and then make sure that justice is served, I think we'll be in a step in the right direction.
Right.
And then also let them know that they can get help, they can be assisted. I mean, we should be our brother's keepers.
You've written a book on this. Tell us about this book in 60 seconds.
Oh, I've written 4 books.
Oh, 4 books on this.
Yes.
You're truly
I'm passionate about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're a stakeholder in this field. Tell us about these books.
Yes, I had to write these books because I thought we didn't have a lot of information.
Right.
And I thought that parents were not educating their children enough. So I wanted to, at different age groups, at different ages, I mean, children should know what these things are. And I mean, it's not nice to give a child something that's too heavy for them. So I wrote one of them, some parts are special, is for the 2 to 7. So it's easy. It's just pictures.
Some parts are special.
Yes,
that's the name of the book.
Yes, that's
for the age 2 to 7.
2 to 7.
Okay.
Yes, colorful, attention grabbing.
Okay.
So you know that these parts are special. Nobody should see. Nobody should touch, and you shouldn't touch anyone's.
Where can people get this book?
Oh,
I'm sorry, I'm putting you on the spot. I didn't discuss this with you earlier, but where can people get your book?
Yes, they'll be out after the 14th of November.
Okay.
Shops, and then you could write to me. You could write to me. I have a social media handle.
Right.
Yes.
All right.
Smile and Shine Children's Foundation.
We'll leave it here. I will tweet our social media and do once we're done with the show. Doctor, we need to go now. We must go now.
And then
because
I will have
trip
one
us
for
up.
parents. I have for different age groups and then parents.
Okay, just
so
hold
parents
on.
need to get
Just hold on. Let's go to break and we'll come back to wrap this up. Stay here, Lagos. We'll be right back after this.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Are available at the click of a button.
The information flow is enormous, which makes the financial markets unpredictable. As a trader, you need to have a strategy, and most importantly, you need a trustworthy partner that will simplify things for you. Hot Forex is serious about its responsibilities to you. With its origin dating back to 2010, we are a multi-regulated broker with over 2 million live accounts, wide global presence, more than 35 international awards, tight spreads, multiple assets, reliable fast execution, technological innovation, and multiple account types. The Hot Forex team is always ready to deliver trading services and free trading education that you can rely on every time. And this is not just a mission, it's a promise. Visit the Hot Forex Educational Centers at 3rd floor, Warala House, 90 Allen Avenue, Ikeja, Lagos, or call 0908-517-6394 or visit www.hotforex.com. Hot Forex, for traders that want more.
A place where you can win without limits. A place where you get a 100% bonus to stake. A place where virtual is brought to reality. Even more. A place where you can bet online anytime, even while you're out of data. Register on actionbet.ng. Actionbet. Think bold. Take action. Win big.
Some call it Black Friday, Africans call it
Thomas, I warned you. This is a season of applied sense. The season of Konga Yakata. Before you buy anything this Black Friday season, check prices of genuine products on Konga.com.
Konga.com. Shop smart. Live well.
Only DSTV brings you the very best football action. With more than 20 live matches any given week from the best leagues in the world, the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, and the Champions League. We're talking Igalo, Salah, Kane, Aguero, Pogba, Griezmann, Messi, and Ronaldo. Get a HD decoder, dish, and 1 month compact subscription for only 18,600 naira. We have the world's best football, only on DSTV.
Every day, someone stands a chance to be a winner.
Really?
Yes. 50,000 naira every week on Just a Minute Game Show. Just call into any of our shows. The Morning Crossfire, What's Up Lagos, The Sunny Side, and Hard Facts. Answer as many questions as possible within 60 seconds and we'll be giving out 50,000 naira every week. Yes! 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 Winners will be announced at Hard Facts with Sandra Ezekrisili. Just a Minute, the game show for everyone on your number one station for talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Now we're back on the Morning Crossfire.
Okay, welcome back to the last 30 seconds of the Crossfire. Dr. Nimi Akere is here. Dr. Nimi, how can people reach out to you?
Thank you. On Facebook, we're Smile and Shine Children's Foundation. On Instagram, we're Smile and Shine Children. And our website is www.smileandshine.org.ng.
Dr. Kerry, thank you for coming around.
Thank you very much for having me.
I'm Sheriff Quadri. I'll be tweeting more information about Dr. Kerry and how you can get help if you need one on my Twitter page at Sheriff Quadri. Good morning to you, Lagos. Daily Digest with Jimi Disu is next. Stay here on Nigeria Info.
Home of entertaining conversations.
I personally think Liverpool of last